How is everything going where you are?
Actually, it's a very beautiful day out, to be honest with you. So everything's great.
Yeah, I saw you guys recently played a couple of shows. One in my home state of Michigan. How was it getting back to performing during this pandemic?
It's therapy without a doubt. It's therapy. It's great to be out. I mean, and it's great to see so many people that are staying safe, but still coming out to enjoy themselves. It was fantastic to like just plug in and get nice and loud and yeah, it's it sucks the way things are, but you know, it was great to actually get it back out on the road. I can't lie.
Yeah,
It was just too short.
I think both sides are just dying for, concerts and music. And well, I'm sure a lot of people came out because they just want to hear music again.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. The place was packed, and they were only allowed to have so many people. There was it was, I think it was like 60% capacity. It was all they were allowed to have. But it was still packed, and it was great.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, I want to
Yeah,
congratulate you
anybody that's
guys.
missing live music, uh, I'm sure everybody can't wait till everything breaks open.
I know that's how it is for me. I'm counting down the days.
You and me both.
Yeah, I know some bands are doing drive-in concerts, so I'm wondering if that will become more of a thing throughout the country.
I think so. There's two in the Maryland and PA area that have just started to open that up. I've been speaking to a few promoters. The only issue it's going to be is once it gets once winter time cuts in, what do you do then?
Exactly. Yeah, and I'm seeing like Europe is announcing some rock festivals. I'm like, wow, that's kind of ballsy because you don't know, how things will be during that time.
No, I think everybody's very very skeptical. I think everybody just, I think everybody's just waiting, I guess, for the election to end. This is what I keep hearing. Everybody's like, well, after November, it's all going to change anyway.
Exactly. Gosh, that's a whole another ballpark.
Yeah,
But I want to congratulate you guys on the latest music video.
thank
Um,
you.
it's a great message, and I know it's already resonating with a lot of people, based on the comments I've read in the YouTube section.
Yeah, and we've actually been receiving a lot of messages from fans and emails from fans, speaking about, this is the first time a band has kind of opened up and talked about this, within inside the music. Um, and it's really really starting to help people and we didn't write it for now. I mean, we wrote this in 2019, not thinking anything like this would ever happen. But it, we decided to put it out now based on the facts of where everybody is right now. And I don't think you have to have depression or you have to have anxiety to feel those impacts right now. And that's why we felt it was very important to put that out at this time.
Yeah, yeah, I was reading the album evolved into a concept album, but it kind of is relevant to the current environment,
It
including
is,
the
and it's
song, World Gone Mad.
it is. It's very, very strange how that turned out. Again, this we didn't set this up to write it out this way, and we thought that the concept of it was a little different than a standard concept album. We were just kind of like trying to tell a story within the songs, and then just they ended up the way we laid them out. We were sitting in the studio, and Cody and I looked at each other, and we were like, this is working out to tell a story, and not that we meant to do that, so we're not geniuses or anything, so it didn't work out that way. It just kind of accidentally happened. And it's been pretty amazing how, even from dodging bullets all the way down to done my best, it all tells this story that's happening right now, which is crazy.
It really is. Yeah. I was listening to the album, I'm like, wow, this really can relate to, what everyone's feeling right now. And yeah, strange how it works out like that, but it's great to see that a lot of people can turn to that album and, help them get through the tough times. And I'm sure that makes you feel really good to receive those messages.
Absolutely. I mean, the fans are the main reason that we do this. Um, and our fans are just amazing people. And it's odd when you're sitting in a club and someone comes up to you and tells you that they didn't commit suicide because of something you wrote. It's pretty heavy. It's a pretty
Good.
heavy thing to put on your shoulders, but it's happened, and it's happened more than once, and we're kind of like we're just pretty grateful that we get the chance to share our music, and it does impact everyone that way.
Yeah, it really goes to show that words are powerful. They really
It is,
are.
and I tell you, these days we're finding out the reality that music is a universal language. Excuse me, a universal language. And we're finding that out today more than any time. It's kind of being proven with hard facts now.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I want to kind of switch gears and talk a little bit about, your history with rock music and
Sure.
kind of what album would you say is the most influential rock album, throughout your life that really touched you?
Probably Alice in Chains Facelift.
Oh, yeah.
Um, I was a '90s kid, so
Same here.
when you're like 13 years old and you hear Alice in Chains and just lose your mind
Yeah, Lane
because it
Staley's
was
voice, it's, oh my gosh, it gives
uh,
me goosebumps listening to him.
Lane Staley, Chris Cornell is one of my favorite vocalists. Miles Kennedy is another favorite vocalist that I have. But yeah, that album was definitely the album that kind of made me go, "Yep, this is what I want to do."
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these singers who had such great voices, left the world way too soon, but they definitely
Absolutely.
left behind some great songs that will live on forever.
Yep, yep. And that's the great thing is I know about 3 or 4 years ago we did a festival where we opened up for STP, and we were kind of like hanging backstage, and it was just kind of odd, because Chester Bennington was filling in at the time, and I remember we walked past him a couple of times, and we just ended up striking a conversation with him, and he was just so down to earth, and just like he's like asking us if we enjoy having being up on stage and having a good time, and I'm like, yeah, it's pretty amazing. And then you talk to him and you ask him the same questions, and he's all those years that he's been in it, he still enjoyed it.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, he seemed like a great guy. It's really sad the way he
Yeah,
left. And it
yeah.
goes,
Anxiety and depression is not, just not something that's I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
yeah, and it goes to show
Horrible.
it can affect anyone. Doesn't matter, what your profession is.
Oh, 100%, 100%. You're totally right about that.
Yeah. What about the most memorable concert you went to? Is there one that really sticks out to you?
Um, Actually, there's a few, and one of them was we were out on the Uproar tour with Godsmack, Shinedown, Seether, Papa Roach. In this moment, there was tons of bands, and we were out there for that. I think it was only like 10 shows, but I remember like the very last night we were getting ready to go home from off the road, and we got a chance to actually watch the concert for once because we didn't have to like leave right away to head to the next venue. And I remember sitting there going, the way I felt about the show was pretty amazing to me, because when you do that job and you perform, you sometimes you miss what it's like to be on the other side,
Right.
and we were re-experiencing what it felt like. So I mean that one kind of sticks in my head. And then my uncle had taken me to see during the Kiss reunion, and I'd never seen a show like that before, which I was just my eyes were lit up the entire time. So I think performance-wise, I think Kiss has probably got the greatest show in the world, or Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden's great too. But the biggest impact, I think we all kind of realize that we're still music fans, even though we're on the stage and we're performing. We kind of remember what it was like to be on the other side. It's pretty enjoyable.
Yeah, because I can imagine, once you're in a band, you have to dedicate so much time to your craft that you kind of lose time to go to shows and
Yep,
be a
yep,
fan.
yep. Totally, totally. I mean, we spend I want to say 24/7 doing what we do, and you hardly ever get time. You don't get time to go out to shows. You don't get time to see family. You miss Thanksgivings. You miss Christmas. It's just is what it is. But yeah, when you get a chance to revisit the other side again, it's pretty enjoyable.
That's awesome. Yeah, going back to Kiss, I remember as a kid seeing them and being so scared. They look kind of scary to me, but now I'm older, I'm like, it must have been very entertaining to see them live.
Oh, it was without a doubt. I'm not gonna lie. It's just kind of one of those experiences. If you've never seen Kiss live, it'll blow your mind.
Wasn't that the movie Detroit Rock City? Was that the show they were trying to get to? Did you ever see that movie?
Yes,
I
yes,
think
and
it
I
was
actually did
Kiss
see
or
that movie.
something. And yeah, they were it's strange to think that Kiss was considered, Satan music back then.
Oh, I know. After I listened to it, I was like, "That's kind of weird. That doesn't sound like Satan to me."
Right. Maybe Marilyn Manson, that's a different story.
Yeah, yeah, that would be more Satan than anything that I would think. I mean, I've never experienced anything like Manson either. Well,
I don't think.
I've got a chance to see him a few times
Oh,
too, and
really?
that was pretty crazy. I mean, he came up on the cross, and I was just kind of like,
Oh my God.
"What?"
Oh man, that's an experience. So, what else does Silvertongue have, planned? I know it's kind of hard to say. You can't plan too much at the moment, but
Well, actually, we're in the midst of in writing sessions right now to start writing music for next year. There's 4 or 5 ideas. I'll say ideas because they're not 100% complete until they're finalized in the studio. So we have that. We're putting together a compilation album of kind of like the growth of the band. Not sure what it's going to be called yet, or I know it's going to be an overseas album. I do know that. But it's kind of just showing the growth of the band from the very first album up till now. And we're going to put like different songs in there that people may not, some of it's not even available right now. So we wanted to give that back to everybody and just see how that resonates, for everyone to actually sit down and listen to the album and hear what we sounded like back in the day opposed to what we sound like now. And we
well,
didn't
that's
like
really
go in and
very
like
interesting.
yeah, we didn't want to go in and like remix everything and make everything sound great like it should like it should today. And I was like, just leave it raw. Let's let everyone get the experience that we had.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think that would be very fascinating to see as a fan, to see how a band evolves naturally and how they progress. And no, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, and the one thing that I really really like about it is some of the music's not available. So like even at shows, people are like, so I hear you have these other 2 albums out, but you can't find them on Spotify, you can't find them on iTunes, can't find them anywhere. Like, yeah, we kind of took them down and just let it lay. And then everybody kept asking about the songs. And there's certain songs from those 2 albums that we play live because they're just crowd pleasers. But people want to hear what it sounded like when we were writing them in the studio. They're pretty excited about it. I was kind of shocked, and that's kind of what jarred us into going. Let's give them a history. Let's give them one album that's just 10, 12 songs. It just kind of gives the history of the band.
Well, that's very cool. And I know you had a different lineup when you guys first started, so that probably plays into how the sound evolved a little bit too.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've unfortunately, but fortunately, have had I've gone through a lot of changes through members. Um, you know, either due to the fact that someone starts a family and the road is a little bit too much for them, or they want to go into a different direction. And I've never been a person to hold anyone else back, so I
Mm.
don't want anyone else to hold me back either.
Right.
So yeah, but like even like with the current situation right now, the current members that are in the band are just the great thing. I think I'm pretty grateful that everybody that has been in the band have always been like top-notch musicians, great people. um so it's been a good experience, but it's nice to see the collective whole right now, working as hard as we are and working together instead of push pull ideas. It's all
Right.
just move forward.
That's really cool. Well, I'm really hoping that you guys, I don't know, here in Boston, things are still kind of shut down, but I hope, once live music can happen again, we'll see you in Boston.
Oh,
Have you guys
absolutely.
performed a lot in this area?
Not in the Boston area. We were in New England a couple years ago. So, I mean, I guess it's kind of close, kind of not, but kind of close.
Like New Hampshire, maybe?
Hmm. Yeah.
Oh, I wonder if
Yeah.
it was maybe like Wally's or not Wally's. Was it in Hampton Beach?
Um, I don't remember.
'Cause
It was
there's a
there, and
nice
then
venue.
it was there, and also in Connecticut.
Oh, okay.
And in Connecticut, we did a radio station run where the radio stations were holding shows at different venues, and we were just kind of like on that tour bill that was coming through for all that. That was a lot of fun, and I
Nice. Yeah,
believe that
you
was with
guys.
Fozzy. I believe.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you guys have done some awesome shows that I was looking at your
Oh yeah,
previous
oh yeah.
events.
it,
Like, wow, you
and it's
guys have
odd
done a
because like we're fans of a lot of these bands, so when you get to play with the bands that you're fans of, it's a whole new experience. And then backstage you get to meet people that you probably would have never met before, and you find out who they truly are. And everybody, knock on wood, we've had a great experience. With even with Miles Kennedy when we were down in
Oh,
Florida at
wow.
the Welcome to Rockville Fest. We were eating, I think it was lunch. I think it was lunch we were all eating, and my guitar player, leans in and he goes, "Don't be a fanboy." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he says, "Miles Kennedy's sitting right behind you."
Was
And
it
I
Miles?
almost lost myself. I was like, "What?"
Oh my
So then I
gosh.
got a chance to meet him later that day.
Yeah, I saw him
Great
with
guy.
Slash, and they were amazing.
Oh my God, yeah, yeah. Miles Kennedy, and even Slash, even though he's grown from Guns N' Roses, but he's such a well-rounded guitar player. He's amazing.
Yeah. No, he's. I really like his work with Velvet Revolver.
Yes,
That
a
some
very
great riffs
underrated
on
band.
there.
Very underrated band and very underrated music that came out of that.
Oh yeah, that was like one of the last great rock albums for that era or that um, decade, I should say.
I totally agree. I totally agree.
Well, I really appreciate your time, Speed. Is there anything else you want to mention before we sign off?
I just want to thank you for taking the time to spend with me. And if anybody needs to find out where we're at, just go to silvertung.com. That's silvertung.tung.com.
Yes. Perfect. Well, thanks again, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, Jen. You do the same.
Thank you.